and we're talking about mother influence. Now, mother influence is subconscious aspect of you, the part of you that you do not even know that you're exhibiting. When I first found out about mother influence, oh my gosh, I cried because it showed me how careless we
As
have been
women.
as women because
Yeah.
we don't know, right? We don't
Yeah.
know about mother influence. And we're talking about how mother influence is essentially who you are. The way I thought about it was I thought about it like going to a factory. I don't, sometimes when I have these analogies, they just come up like in my mind. But I thought about a factory and you're making something and you're putting all these bits together. Now, if you see parts that are kind of broken or you see parts that just look a bit dysfunctional, you won't put it in there, right? Because it won't make the end product look good. So you probably take it out of the factory line or production line, and then you are selective as to what it is that you're putting in your finished product. And that was literally how I saw mother influence or saw myself, and seeing how that is actually how we're supposed to be selective in the way we conceive a child. You know what I mean? Like, so what were you gonna say regarding that? Because I know you had a lot of questions.
Going back to watch the videos again, the conversations we've had. I actually wrote about this in my book.
Oh,
But
yes,
I
yes,
didn't
yes.
call it, yes, I didn't call it mother influence. The very beginning of the book, I talked about how to conceive.
Yes.
And so apparently I was talking about mother
Yes, you
influence, and
were.
I didn't know it was termed that, So the analogy you just gave about the things you take out when you're about to create a product, the things you take out, the things you make sure are in. I talked about that at the very beginning of my book. I talked about the fact that when you do self-reflection or self-contemplation or retrospection, you look at your life as it is and see and project, where do I want to be, what kind of person do I want to be, what kind of person do I want to be first, because it actually begins with you, because you understand that who you are is who you give birth to. Then you begin to project, who do I want to be, because, well, as I just said. So then you begin to take out, what don't I like, why don't I like it, so how can I not be this person? Or maybe now that I understand even better, because I was actually planning to expand on that particular chapter of the book, write an entire book about how to conceive. So so now that I know better, I understand that because of the law of attraction, you actually focus on who you want to become, not who you don't want to be. All your attention into all the things that you look to be, all the things that you want to infuse into your seed, all the influence that you want to make,
because it's going to be subconscious at the end of the day.
Yes.
And one of the things I was even thinking about was obviously, because we've already had our kids. I don't know about you, I'm not planning to have any more.
I remember we talked about maybe we should just give birth to one more.
Right? Since we know what to do now. Right.
Since you know differently, you know a lot more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like sometimes when I look at my kids, and because the more and more I understand this, it's literally like pieces of me outside of my body.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like I'm exposed. That's how it feels.
Yes. I think that what research says about the fact that when your kids misbehave or they do certain things or exhibit certain characteristics that you do not appreciate, the reason why you get that upset is because this is you right in your face.
It's you right in your
face. That you have not dealt with.
It's so true.
I remember us having to talk about healing the inner child. I know you have this conversation with Dr. Abby, but it is you right in your face. Those bits of you have not adjusted, they're looking at you, they're acting you out.
So even the bits of you that you're not even familiar with, or the bits of you that you haven't met.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And like I said, like you're seeing parts of you or pieces of you outside of you. So like now you are forced to see it. You are made
you are forced
to see it.
So I won't even blame anybody who doesn't want to be a mother, because it takes a lot of courage. Some people, the book I'm writing right now is about what motherhood does to you. I don't have a title yet,
Okay.
but what motherhood does to you, because I am seeing how when some people come to understand that you are literally about to bring yourself to the world, that part of you do not want the world to see. You are going to bring yourself out. And of course, we're talking mother influence, but I know that in one of your videos you even mentioned the fact that the man is not exempted.
Exactly.
Yes. So of course, who you are and the person you're about to fuse with. So when a woman analyzes all of this, she's like, I don't think I'm ready for this, because it is a lot of work to have to face not just your child, but yourself.
Simultaneously.
Because that's what motherhood does to you. Yes, simultaneously. Yourself, you see yourself clearly in ways you never even knew you existed.
Exactly.
It takes all of your strength to figure that out, to fight it, to work it out.
But that's why I think having this information way before you even start dating, way before you get a boyfriend, way before you get married, because then it also helps you get you in a better space, and then also helps you attract the right person. Because I keep thinking about it, it's who you are essentially that you form, or that is the material that you use to construct a child. So I keep going back to it. Who are you? And is who you are you going to be happy with your finished product if we're using pieces of you to make this new person? Like, I thought about it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And you have to really be self-aware, and you have to be honest and transparent. The most important thing is learning you, because there's so many things that we end up with, and they end up being prayer points that don't need to be prayer points. They were things that you could have dealt with in yourself, like you said, in your self-reflection. There could have been things that you would have dealt with, whether it's going through therapy, correcting some of the kinks have transpired in your life. This is like a major one, because if you have this one down, I think it sets the tone. Yeah, it sets the tone and the foundation for how you raise your child.
For who you marry.
And for who you marry.
For who you choose. When you figure out who you are, you understand that, oh my God, when I listened to Mother Influence again, I was watching those videos in the passing, and then I was watching it simultaneously with this book, Ladies Light Devotional. And so I was like, oh my God, we don't even understand the way. So the first thing that came to me is the sense in the woman is the guardian of the flame of virtues and values. So that's a lot to unfold right now, right? But it makes sense. And then when we talked about feminine traits, the reflectivity, the fact that the woman reflects to the society, and then when we talk about the formative nature, the formative now is where I want to stay. The fact that her formative, I think you even mentioned it in one of those videos on Mother Influence. This formative trait of hers makes it that it is she who is responsible. I remember one of the lines in Ladies Light: in her we live and move and have our being. We can safely say, I mean, Daniel Bog said, we can safely say in how we move and live and have our being. Like, so literally, without the woman, there will be no birthing, right? So if there's no birthing, there's nobody to make society in, right? There's nobody to multiply society with. A man cannot get another man pregnant. Well, yes, no matter what they do, future and history, right? So see how powerful the woman is, how influential she is, the connectedness with her and society. If she's fixed, society is fixed, because now the formativeness now, because she's the one who births,
she's the one who
the child.
Exactly.
So it's almost like Oh my God. I think that there was a time in history when women selected the men they would marry, and it was with certain traits.
But that is
Because,
actually what it's meant to be. That I was literally
yes,
gonna go into that, being
yes,
that we have basically given away our power,
our
and
power.
we've given it to the wrong one. So the first thing we did was give it away.
So we've been doing these
Yeah.
things instinctively without even realizing without even realizing what we were doing. I mean, tracing history without even realizing it, the woman would select a man who was more powerful, who was a hunter, or somebody who was very influential, because maybe she didn't understand. But it is because children that would populate the earth through her,
Mhm.
directly affected by her and the person she
Yeah.
connects with.
So
So,
I like the fact that
oh,
you
she's
even
just in the
mentioned that.
middle of it.
I love the fact that you said that, because remember, we've had this conversation about how there's so much we can learn from the feminine animals in the animal kingdom, right?
Yes,
And they have
yes,
a lower
yes,
mind than we do, but they know how to do
yes.
this perfectly
By instinct.
by instinct, right? So, like what you said now, what going back to the giving away of the power, we are actually meant to be the ones to select. Do you know, even down to the cellular level within the woman in the egg, your egg is selective of the sperm. Do you know that?
Mm.
So even
Oh, I
there,
didn't hear
its
that before.
sensitivity still goes all the way down to the
All
smallest,
the
to the
way.
cellular level.
Yeah.
So it shows you how much we have lost touch of the feminine,
Mm.
because now
So
we're
I
just
think
doing
that
it.
we still do this. Yeah, we still do this, but we do it not on the deeper feminine sense. I mean, our sensitivity, that's what I'm talking about now, right?
Mhm.
Because of how bruised and broken we are,
Mhm.
we do it on the surface. So now you're looking for the rich guy. Now you're looking for the guy who looks good. Now you're looking for things on the surface,
Mm.
not considering
You're not looking
the
at
deeper
value.
things. Yes, you're not looking at the value that he brings, what makes him who he
Yeah.
is. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're birthing.
Yeah.
That when you fuse with him, that's what you're birthing. The value that he
He
is
is
merged with
the
the
value that
value
you
that
are.
you are. That's what you're birthing, not
Yeah.
the rich guy,
Yeah.
not the because it's not every rich guy that has sense. Let me bring it to
You know what was funny? I was thinking
you
about this
know.
earlier today as well. You know, when you said, okay, yeah, you're looking for the surface things, you're looking for the money, and you're looking for the house, but the money is not what you give birth to, right? Your baby's not.
Yes, not the money
If
is
it's
not what you
dollars, your
give birth
baby's
to.
not
Yes.
going to be green.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, in my early motherhood class, one of the classes, it was said to, it was, my teacher told me that a seed is bad. That means that the person that you are and the person that you connect with to birth a child, the child now is the seed. If that seed is negative, that means, of course, let me trickle it down. That means the value did not connect with value. That means there were no standards. These were two people who just connected and gave birth to a child, and then they're intrinsically not positive. That seed is negative. Wealth does not change it.
Mm.
The environment cannot easily change it. So you say you send, well, okay, so look at it in nature, look at it in our environment, look at it in our reality. So this rich guy has this very messed up child, sends them to the best schools, has the best therapist looking at this child, has the best set of people watching out for this child. The child never changes because the seed was
The seed
damaged.
itself, yeah, the quality of
The
the
seed
seed.
itself, the quality of the
Mm.
seed was not of standard. So, and don't forget that when you birth, oh God. So sometimes this scares me when we talk about mother influence, like, because you are birthing a hybrid of yourself. Yes, it's a mirror of you, but it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
Because remember we talked about, yeah, it's a hybrid. It has to be a hybrid. I look at my kids and I know that yes, you look like me. You have something from me, but you're of a higher standard.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So if it's a negative seed, so you can imagine what comes out. You can imagine what you
Yeah.
birth. You know.
Yeah.
So so mother influence, it's scary. It's
It's
scary
scary.
because we do not even understand the weight of it. The decision, it's almost like the decision solely lies on you, because at the end of the day, if you didn't choose him, he wouldn't give you a
He
seed.
wouldn't give you a
It's
seed.
almost like it
But it
lies on you, and
is.
then he, okay,
It is.
so then you chose him, and then he gave you a seed, and then you have to, oh God, I'm saying my mind is still going back to some lines in my book, and then you are the one who is carrying this seed for 9 months. You have the responsibility, it still lies on you. You have the responsibility to adjust that seed. It's a lot because you already took in, but you have the responsibility to keep. Okay, so it's a proper seed, so then you made the right choice. You took a proper seed. You have the responsibility of maintaining that seed for the next 9 months, and then the child is born. Mother influence is a lot. It's heavy.
It's heavy. Like, it is heavy. It is
Then you
heavy.
give birth, and you have the next formation years, 0 to 6. You have 0 to 6 years. So 6 years plus 9 months plus the other years of your life that you were trying to form you to make sure that you had sense. I don't know how to say it better than that. You know, so put it all together.
All of that would have an
you
impact.
think you're raising a child within a short period of time. No, it's a lifetime put together, and you are in the middle of it as a woman.
The middle of it.
Wow.
It's heavy. It's true, it's heavy.
It's scary.
Like, that's what I was saying. Like, if you hear this type of thing, yeah, this is like better than any type of birth control. I'm telling you. Because
it's better than
because you will literally think about it. Because one, it's not now about the physical sensations. Oh, I just want to have a good time. You are literally,
you'll be deliberate.
You will be intentional about who you lay with. You'll be intentional
we
about
had this conversation, you and I. We had this conversation some months ago when we talked about the fact that what science is trying to do, give and put together different things to birth, to make a proper child. I mean, whatever it is that they consider, what they take from the man, what they take from the woman, what science is doing, we can actually do it as women.
Yeah, but that is what we're supposed to be doing. That is essentially how we were made. That is
so my choice of words, right?
How we were made to function. But the thing is, because we are not, should I say, we're not taught and we don't know. So again, going back to what I said about the animal kingdom, right? Because they are operating on instinct. It's somewhat mechanical for them. They know, okay, this is what we're looking for. And like I said, it almost seemed like some of those animals were a bit more intelligent. You know, they were
they're not a bit more intelligent.
They were leaning more into their traits.
They are intelligent
because it's like, okay, I know I'll go into it in a different video, but particular animals will search for particular things. Like, some will be like, I'm looking for his social status. You know, we see that with humans, right? How does he interact with our kind? How does he interact with other males?
How does he show leadership?
How does he show leadership, right?
And imagine that's an animal.
And that's an animal. So imagine that. So that's what that female animal uses to decide if she wants to have a baby with that particular male.
With that animal.
Do you get what I mean?
With that male.
So now take it back to us. We need to be like, okay, what kind of child do I want to have? Essentially, do I have that material? That's why I said this is something that you need to be thinking way before you even start thinking about dating or having a boyfriend. Because when you start thinking about those things, okay, who am I, first of all? What kind of child do I want to bring into this world? Do I want to bring another child just like me? If you're going to be honest.
Want to bring another child just like me,
right?
Yes.
And then
if you want to be honest,
if you want to be honest, and if you're like, actually, no, this part of myself, I don't, I'm not so great at this. And then you start adjusting those things. Because when you do that, essentially adjust your DNA. It adjusts your genes.
Essentially, yes, it does. Yes. So you know, at the beginning of the conversation, you talked about the subconscious mind. Everything that we are is seated in our subconscious. Right? Everything that we manifest is a product of our subconscious. Go and read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind if you have not. Go and read Wayne Dyer's Wishes Fulfilled. At least those two I have read that have extensively spoken about your subconscious mind. So what sits there is a definition of who you are. So the moment you begin, in my book I talked about recoding. I know I used the word code, but basically recoding your genetic code, and that's the content of your subconscious mind. So the focus on the things that you want to become, or the kind of seed that you want to birth, the kind of person that you want to see yourself as, that is already readjusting your DNA, your genetic code. Unfortunately, you cannot kill it. You cannot kill who you were. So you have to exchange it with something. You cannot
else.
Kill the content of your genetic code. You cannot kill it, but you can adjust it. So that adjustment is deliberate. It's not something that you do today haphazardly. Today, oh, I don't really like the way I talk, for instance. I don't really like the way I talk. Tomorrow, you talk the way you really don't like, and then you make the effort, and then after a week you get tired. When they talk about when on the surface they talk about character formation and the fact that it takes a period of time of consistency, right? So you consistently do something a particular time, again and again. It is registering in your subconscious that there's something else that is at work right now. There's something else that we believe. Yes, it will rear its ugly head and say, oh no, this is what we're used to. Oh no, this is how we always respond to this situation. Oh no, this is how we react to things like this. This is our automatic response to this thing. Why are you telling us to do something else? But because you consistently do, you are saying, oh no, this is how we want it now. So you are superimposing a new character
and a new
on your
way.
genetics.
Exactly.
You stay with that, what you become, and of course that's what you birth.
You know what I was gonna say on that as
time,
well?
yes.
Because sometimes, you know, like we said, we try to do it on the surface though. And what I would say, what has helped me is right knowledge. Like when you
right knowledge,
have right knowledge, because essentially it's that right knowledge that you have that you continue to meditate on, and it's that knowledge that actually adjusts you. It's not you trying to do it all by yourself. Right? All by yourself. Because if you just say, okay, you're feminine, and a woman is supposed to, I always use this example all the time, a woman is supposed to be soft, and like what you just said now, you think, okay, I'm supposed to act this way, and then somebody walks in and then ticks you off, and then you start using all the colorful language in the world. What happened to you being a woman, and what happened to you being soft? You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't do that.
So stay your mind on truth.
So you keep your mind on the truth. So that's why I keep hammering on this. And I'm like, okay, learning about your womanliness, learning about your femininity, learning about what you are capable of. I think the other day I was going back to listen to my class on being ladylike. And you know, and I've heard different women who have, you know, have kind of mentioned to me as well and be like, you know, we were told women were supposed to be like this and women should behave like this, but you were not told how. It's just like this behavior and why you should behave that way. You just superimpose this thing on me, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to just be this thing, right? But if you gave me the knowledge, if you gave me the right knowledge as to why this is the way I am, then I will respond to it differently, as opposed to you imposing something on me.
Insisting that I'm a will be. So the reason why you tell a woman to behave a particular way fights you. I'm looking for a particular word, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying, right? The reason why you tell a woman behave this particular way and she's like, why? Give me reasons. It's because we are will beings. We are human beings that God gave a will. So you don't enforce anything on us. You have to give us why. You have to give us whys. You have to give us hows. Now, so sometimes when we talk about these things, for instance, we just said, stay on the truth and see it transform you. We just learned something recently. Self-contemplation does not really adjust you.
No.
It's truth contemplation.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have had, okay, let me give a testimony, my testimony, right? So I used to be this really, 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 really good tomboy. Okay, bad tomboy. Good tomboy because I was very masculine. I was a feminist. I was masculine. Then I came in contact with teachings about who the woman is. I stayed with these teachings. I will never forget my 2016 because that was when my life was adjusted. So I came to a realization, first of all, that I had a problem. I was a beautiful woman, but I was not feminine, right? Instinctively, it's not anything about what somebody said, because don't forget that God made you. You were supposed to express femininity. The man was supposed to express masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're not that, there is something inside of you that will question you before
Yeah.
somebody says. So if somebody says it, sometimes it may offend you because it's the truth. The truth
Because
is
it's the
bitter.
truth.
And you are not ready to confront it. That's why it's that hurting. So I came to a realization that this was a problem, and I started listening to those teachings over a period of months. So what there was a prayer I was praying as I was listening to these teachings. I was reading the Womanhood magazine. I was listening to teachings on teachings on teachings on teachings on the woman, and I was praying one prayer: Father, make me a woman. I wasn't saying any other thing. I wasn't even trying to re-echo the things I was hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, the woman is supposed to be soft, so I'm supposed to be soft. Father, make me soft. No. The woman is supposed to be sensitive. Father, make me sensitive. I wasn't saying all of those
Mm.
things. I was saying, Father, make me a woman. Oh, I'm listening to something that was said about sensitivity, and I'm like, Father, make me a woman. I came back. Everybody knew something
Yeah.
changed. I knew something
Mm-hmm.
changed. Everybody knew something changed. And so this is practical. I'm not the only person. I'm not the only person. I know other women who have had these
Yeah.
experiences. Stay on truth. Stay on truth and watch it adjust you. The
Stay
truth.
on
So
truth.
you want to that why do you think, I don't know. Sometimes we don't truth is universal. That means that when something is true in a particular place, it can be applied
Anywhere.
anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why you would go and read books on finances, and you are adjusted, your finances, you begin to understand finances, and you begin to understand what to do about finances and how to relate with your finances.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why that adjusts is because you stayed on the truth of or on
Yeah.
finances. So why do you think it is different in every other way? So you say you want to become Christ-like, and you stay on the truth on Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It adjusts you. You say you want to be a woman. You stay on the truth about woman. It adjusts you.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
It's so true.
It's
It's so true.
exciting.
It's so true. I
Oh,
mean,
look at our time.
oh
Wow.
gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. But I know that we can talk some more about it later though.
Yes.
Mother influence has been so heavy on my heart because I just think about, like you want your children to turn out a particular way, but
Yeah.
then they can only be as good as you are. They can only know as much as you know. We were
Mm.
talking, I think we were talking about the other day when we said, okay, the world is your oyster. We hear that all the time. Oh, the world is your
We
oyster.
hear that.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. The world you've shown your children is their oyster, not the world is their
Exactly.
oyster. So if you
Exactly.
have only reached a particular point, they only see that's as far as
Yes.
they can
Truth.
go. You
That's
you
yes.
haven't shown
Yes.
them that they can pursue more or they can be more.
Mm.
Or your
Mm.
world, should I say, the world you've created for them was not big enough for them to
Mm.
expand theirs. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
To expand their mind,
Exactly.
right? So
Mm.
again, that is how important mother
Influential.
influence is.
That's how
That's
influential
how
you are.
influential.
Influential
That's
you are.
how influential you are. And it's deep.
Yes.
Like I go back and
You
thinking about
know.
certain things, like okay, like dreams, certain aspirations, certain things that I want to do. And I looked and I said, okay, what are some of the things that I've been wanting to do? Have I done them? Why?
Mm.
Then I keep saying to myself,
Mm.
okay, I'm gonna have to do it. Because what if my son and my daughter comes to me one day, Mommy, is there anything that you've ever tried to do that you didn't do? And I can boldly
Mm.
say to you, no, because I've tried it all, I've
Mm.
done it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that will do for your child? Basically,
Yes. What you
it
do
will
for
it
their
will give
minds.
them a kind of confidence that they can do anything.
Yeah.
They can attempt anything.
Yeah.
That nothing, would I say
Mm.
nothing is impossible for them because their
Yes.
mother has shown
Yes.
them that nothing is
Yes.
impossible.
Oh, we are so influential. I don't know if we understand how powerful our influence is,
Mm-hmm.
because it's in your hand. If you say, oh, the society also influences the child, it's the society you allowed, you, the mother, allowed. It's the you say, oh, the man. It's the man you allow.
It's the man you allowed. See, that's the thing. So we don't understand how. That's what, going back to
You're
what
so
I said initially.
influential.
We have given away the power. You've given away the
We
power,
have
and then
given, yeah.
you blame. And the reason why you blame, the reason why you get upset, is because you knew better.
Did we give away the power, or we use the power wrongly?
So I would say,
because we're still using this
no,
power.
technically you're still using the power.
You're
So I would say you're
using the power.
using it wrongly. And then, or should
Yes.
I say, you think you've given it away. Do you
But
get, but you
haven't.
but you have not. So you're still sort of in, would I say you're still sort of in control as well? But now it's like ignorance. But
control.
again, like I said, ignorance is not bliss. You're in the dark.
It isn't, because you still pay for
You
it.
still
Ignorance
have to
is
pay
not
for
bliss.
it.
You will still pay for it. Like whatever it is you didn't do right,
yeah,
you pay for it. Unfortunately, the kids have to pay for it with you.
And the kids have to pay for it with you.
Yeah,
it's so true. It's so true. But yeah, but this is
Wow.
so deep though. Like, again, it's one of those ones, like, if you could go back, but we know we can never go back. So that's why it's important to tell, like, young folks, right? We exactly like what Janet just said, we often do not realize the extent and impact of our power. We don't.
Of our power.
We don't.
Exactly.
We don't realize at all. Like, imagine you are creating a whole being. Like, I just it blows my mind. You're creating a whole
You're bringing a being. Yes.
Like, you're co-creator. We talked about this. You're co-creator.
Yes, co-creator.
And then you think you have no part to play?
You have most parts to play, because the being that you are co-creating with has done everything. It's now in your hands.
Yeah.
It's not everything. There's nothing that God is going to come and do to adjust. Okay, yeah, maybe in rare situations, God will just have mercy on you. But are you waiting for that? Are you really waiting for God to come and have mercy on you when you could actually make a choice?
Yeah.
You could actually decide. You could actually take a path.
Yeah.
You could actually use your power. Do you know what I came to realize? The moment I got to understand the role I play in the lives of my children, like I am audacious where my kids are, not in many places, but when I make a decision, and I'm grateful for the man I am with, especially because of parenting, right? When I realize something and I show it to him, he sees the effect or the impact of it. Oh, he stands by me. And once he stands by me, I don't even freaking care. Forgive my language, right? Who doesn't believe me?
Yes.
So this is what knowledge does for you. That was my point. That's my point. This is what knowledge does for you. Yeah. It gives you audacity.
It does.
To actually toe the path.
It does. It's so much fun for coming and having this conversation with me tonight. And I hope those of you that got a chance to hop on the live was able to get something.
Yeah.
It is mother influence. You really do have the power, woman. You do.
Yeah.
And it is better for you to get the right knowledge as to how to harness that power. It's not enough to scream, like I said, it's not enough to scream girl power, woman power, all of that stuff.
Woman power.
No. If you don't know how to use it, you will hurt people and you will hurt yourself,
Yourself.
And there will be, dire
and unfortunately, unfortunately, the people you're hurting most are those ones that are coming through you, that are actually fully, totally dependent on you, vulnerably dependent on you. So if you don't think about yourself, please think about those little people. Well, that's because I am very, very, very concerned about them.
About the little people. Thank you so much, Mom. Thank you so much, everyone who joined in with us tonight. And have a wonderful night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.